Welcome to the SUTV Live post-game show reflecting on Millwall 3, Sheffield United 2. Alongside me, I have Brian Dean and Kevin Gage. Fellas, I think frustration is probably that's the definition of frustration, the way we've lost that today, isn't it?
Frustration and real disappointment, to be honest, because there's no way we should have come away with from Millwall with anything less than a point there. I'm not saying we played fantastically well, but we did more than enough to get a point there.
Let's give credit where credit's due. The first half, Millwall were the better team, but the Blades managed to find a way to go in level at half-time. In the second half, I'm trying to rack my brain, and I think the two goals that Millwall scored were perhaps the only two attempts they had on goal in the second half.
Yeah, football's like that sometimes, but it really is disappointing because you could see the momentum was with Sheffield United at the end of the game, and to come in here having dragged themselves, the team from dragging themselves from where they were to kind of being on the front foot and going for a win, to just see how it's all ended up. It's disappointing. They did so well, but it wasn't good enough.
George Long in the Millwall goal did pull out one or two fantastic saves when the scores were level to keep Sheffield United at bay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a catalogue of not glaring chances that we had, but good chances. Half chances, three-quarter chances. Yeah, and when we did get through their defence, George Young was there, to make the saves. But it was just time after time flooding men forward, weren't we?
Yeah.
So disappointing that we've been saying how good our defence has been all season, and then
prior to Middlesbrough, this was the best defence in the Championship. No one had a better defensive record. Then inexplicably, in 2 games, you conceded 6 goals.
Yeah, sloppy goals, all 3 of them sloppy goals to give away today. Egan's let the man run for the first one. They had a couple more opportunities, and then second half, as you rightly say, Richard, there are only 2 kind of opportunities. The only time they really threatened our goal has ended up in them scoring twice. It's so unlike us. But we should have done better going forward. We should have been a bit more clinical. We had the players on the pitch to take advantage, and I don't really think we did in the second half at any stage.
Yeah, this one is going to sting just a little bit, Dino, isn't it? In the context of the week, given that it came off the back of the home defeat here to Middlesbrough, and the way we played in the second half, as Gagey says, you feel you should have got something from it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you look at the team, the chasing pack now, that gives them some impetus to kind of look and think, okay, we can reel them in now, because if Middlesbrough beat QPR today, that's 4 points, I think. Mm-hmm. And then we're really in a bit of a dogfight to keep our, to keep that lead that we've got in terms of points. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. I think that, this next week is going to be critical in terms of how, he gets a squad together, you erase what's happened over the last week, and then you start to build.
It's not all doom and gloom, though, because the beauty of playing as well as the Blades have to this point of the season is you give yourself a cushion if you have a blip. This, at the moment, is a blip. You've got a 4-point gap, presuming Middlesbrough and the chasing pack get results later this weekend. But over most of their teams, you've got a game in hand as well. And it's Watford at home next week. You give yourself every opportunity.
Yeah, it becomes a really, really important game, doesn't it, next week? Yeah. I think we have to beat Watford now next week. We have to get back on track. It's difficult. I don't want to get too carried away with a defeat, in the negative sense, because we've played okay today. I personally think we played okay against Middlesbrough. They were just very, very good on the night, but we've been by far the better side. Certainly second half. They were better side first half today, but we were by far the better side second half, and we showed our quality and our class when it really mattered going forward. Just couldn't find the end product, the final pass and the final clinical finish. I'm slightly concerned that we were looking a bit rocky at the back. We've been so good all season. But just, we should be cutting out that final goal today, the third goal. We should be cutting that ball out. It should be instinctively that Egan's coming across and clearing that. That concerns me.
We have spoken all season about the squad that's together, the mixture of talent and experience. this, more than any other time in the season now, is where Paul Heckingbottom was going to need those experienced heads, calm heads to prevail.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's you almost have to create a siege mentality within the changing room, not the club, the changing room now, and look to get the team back on track. You know, we've waxed lyrical all year about how the team's been playing, how, you know, the wonderful football, but there comes a point where they need that solidity and that steel at the back now. That's where your foundation is. And then you can build moving forward on that. You know, the forwards for me, I think, you know, we need our forwards firing, and that's from Jebison right through. You know, we can't turn around and say he's a young man anymore, because, you know, you know, we can see he's got ability, but we need to start, you know, he needs to unlock that for himself. And then, you know, we've got the other players in there, we've got experience, we've got lots of different players. For me, you know, Njai he's carried us moving forward a lot of the time now, and it's up to everybody else to really start getting in and contributing, because, you know, we're sat here, aren't we, and we're kind of down, but the truth is it's still in our hands.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean, I said before the match, I thought it would be a struggle today, and it blooming wasn't it? And I said I'd be happy with a point. Well, you know, if we'd gone 2-2, we'd all be sitting here with a smile on our faces, going, so let's not be too doom and gloom about it. You know, there are a few positives, and second half performance was fine, no problem with that whatsoever. And just I will reiterate, I'd like us to be better defensively. You know, we shouldn't be shipping 3 goals to Millwall in circumstances like that.
Okay, Brian, Kevin, thanks very much for your time. Just a reminder then of the games coming up for the Blades over the next several weeks. We start a week today with Watford here at Bramall Lane. 3 p.m. kickoff for that one. SUTV Live will be on air from 2. And then Tottenham are in town on Wednesday, the 1st of March in the FA Cup. A 7:55 p.m. kickoff for that one, before returning our attention to the Championship with back-to-back road trips. First of all at Blackburn, 2 weeks today. Lunchtime kickoff once again, 12:30, SUTV Live on air from midday, before going down to Reading on the 7th of March, 8 p.m. kickoff there, and then it's back at Bramall Lane on Saturday, the 11th of March, for a home game against Luton Town. 3 p.m. kickoff, SUTV Live is on air from 2 p.m. The next game, quite frankly, can't come quick enough. This is a week we certainly want to forget. Goodbye.